Flicflac, 1956. Okay, this line. Let's play knight a4. Nope. Alright, I think queen takes b2 might be actually possible here. So queen a3, if knight b5, queen a2, attacking the rook on b1. I was going to play c4 and bishop b4. So I think Paul Georgie was saying this happened in his game against David Bronstein, the Lloyds Bank Masters, a few years ago, where Bronstein could have just taken the pawn on b2. So this is not a particularly sound gambit. But in practice, after taking it, I have generally lost to f5 later from white. So I am a bit suspicious still of this whole thing, winning material in this way. Maybe I don't know. Maybe c takes d4 is more aggressive to try and discourage f5 if there's only one pawn left. So cd, knight d4, bishop b4, rook b3, maybe queen a5. Don't really like to give up the dark squared bishop though. Is there a more incisive way of playing it? I think I will take on d4. Yeah. So bishop b4, maybe to force rook b3, and then get queen a5 in. So I can get queen a5 in. Yeah. So maybe that's slightly awkward for white in that position, but he's got a3. I don't know. It seems a bit greedy and materialistic if one can just use it as a b pawn gambit and accelerate f5. But rook b3, queen a5. Has white got anything really concrete there? In fact, if the rook's on b3, maybe there's a target. It's a tactical target to knight c5. So rook b3, queen a5 castles. I've got knight c5 maybe. And then knight e4, so this c3 could be a major weakness. If I get knight c5 to e4, it could be end of the game. Right. That puts a stop to that sort of idea. This knight c5 is still reasonable here. Just allowing knight d6 check. Otherwise, if I got that dark squared bishop, that would stop white casting anyway. So alright, let's in for a penny, in for a pound. Knight c5, allowing knight d6. So knight d6, maybe even, I don't know, king e7 or king f8. Maybe king f8 is safer, but f5, I don't know, knight takes e5, so the check isn't that dangerous. Okay, I'll do it like this. Alright, bishop takes, knight takes d5 isn't that good. So maybe queen takes is more prudent. because otherwise I'm not losing my queen after. The knight's protecting the queen, so maybe bishop takes c5 is better. Queen takes c5 looks okay though. Let's keep the pin and stop white castling. I can't see anything wrong with that at the moment. Okay, queen c5. And I'm threatening d4 now, so c3 is a source of tactical pain at the moment. Yeah. Bishop a5 here. I suppose there's no, there isn't rook b5 because of c3. Right, so white's having difficulty castling, but also maybe, you know, there's okay, I'll take back a rook. Why not a rook? Right, if I play king f8 now, I mean, surely this is good because this c3 pressure. Surely I've just got knight d4 with rook b3. Knight d4 here would seem a disaster for white. There's no casting as knight takes e2. It is, he resigned. Okay, let's have a quick look at that. So Giorgio, who was in Barnet Chess Club, is a good friend of mine, and he beat David Bronstein, a World Championship challenger, in Lloyd's Bet Masters. It was well past Bronstein's peak, but still, it was a good achievement to beat a GM in Lloyd's Bet Masters. And it was with this sort of bluff. He played this Queen d2 as well, and Bronstein could have just taken on b2, but he didn't. And I think the problem is it does weaken c3. So the question is c4 better than cd? I've tried c4 before, and usually it ends up in tears with white playing f5. I think c4 in principle releases the tension. So if white can avoid losing material or even sack the exchange, then f5 is a killer because the pawn on d4 is reinforcing e5. So if white gets in f5, it's like a nasty move later on the king side. So maybe this is more incisive to actually play c takes d4 here. But I think I'd have to check this with Rybka, or if some of you could just check with Rybka what would be the strongest continuation for black here. Is it c4 or cd? So here it seems bishop b4 and this idea of knight c5 now, inviting knight d6 was very good. So that b3 rook is also a tactical target. Just a bit concerned about my queen being a tactical target as well though. But the way it was played here, it looks very, very nice now. I know I lost b7. That looks even better, this position. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.